think it's about time we covered a little Asian nasty. Don't you? Hello and welcome back to Bug Realms. On this channel we like to discuss all things creepy crawly, so if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel. So today we are going to be looking at the Orphnaecus species blue quezon. Now I think this is quite a highly underrated species. The few people I've spoke to about these haven't seemed to have much excitement, but I actually really like this spider. So background story, gift from Gar, that's what it was. A G from the G. So this one was gifted to me by Gar from Orphnaecus. Amazing channel, guy really knows his stuff and he super loves his Asian nasties. So yeah, you got him to thank for that. And I was fortunate enough that this one molted with me then after to become an adult female. Sorry Gar, I know you're a little gutted about that, but yeah, I was the lucky one to get the female. So as we do in these videos, we're going to start off by rating the appearance of this tarantula. Now footage may cross over when talking about this tarantula, and some it may seem a little darker and a bit more blue, and in others it may seem a little bit duller and that bit more brown, and that's because a bit of the footage was not long after this one had molted, and then there's other footage from a couple of months down the line, so it really does dull down over time. I think they're a little cracker actually. There's kind of like beigey tones to the carapace there, and then that goes into those darker colorations on the legs. I think in some of the footage you will see the blue on the femurs, and you will see actually a bit of blue maybe on the abdomen as well as the whole rest of the legs, whereas in other footage, as I said, you're more only going to see it kind of on the femurs. So when you're not catching that kind of blue vibrancy, when it's toned down, I still think it's a cool looking tarantula, because appearance isn't just about colorations. Look at that bulky carapace. As you know, this is an adult female. It's not a particularly massive tarantula, you can see, compared to the size of a locust here, and this isn't even a fully grown locust. So it's smaller, but it's cool looking. It's got that bulky, chunky carapace. The way it sits with its legs is wonderful, and those two tones I think go really well together. Now it doesn't have those massive mixes of colours or rainbows of colours or anything like that, but I'm still going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I really like the look of this tarantula. I like the shape. It's about the shape for me, I think, with this tarantula. As I keep bringing up, that carapace. I love the carapace and the way it kind of just, I think it's a handsome spider. Although it's a girl, I think handsome seems to suit this spider better than the word pretty. I don't know why, it's just how it's playing in my mind. So next we're going to go on to visibility. Now these kind of Asians, they're kind of semi-terrestrial, semi-fossorial. I kind of keep them in a Kilobrachii style setup, so I have a deep enough substrate but not your typical like Oreotibialis deepness to the substrate where it's going to burrow really far down, and it seems to do well. I really enjoyed keeping this one, and it seems to have adapted in its home nicely. So it's got the web curtain going all the way around, but it's also got the burrow, and right now it's actually filled in its burrow and it's hanging around the top a bit more. And before this molt it would rather be in the shallower side of the burrow and just web around the entrance, which is really interesting actually. But I would give it a 6 out of 10 in visibility because it does stay within that web quite a lot. It's a confident tarantula though, so when it's out at feeding times it doesn't necessarily dart straight back in. It's not so keen on me shining the light on it, but it's not a super shy tarantula really, but it's also not overly confident that it's going to have high visibility. These sort of semi-fossorial tarantulas, that you're not going to see them as often as you'd like, but I see it enough, you know what I mean? More than average. So I think a 6 is a fair score. So feeding response. This girl's got a great feeding response. We're going to hit it straight at an 8 out of 10, folks. 8 out of 10. She has been a great eater since I got her. even in pre-molt, before I first recognised she was in pre-molt, she took to prey when I realised I backed off from the feeding. But yeah, she's always been a great eater for me. She's got a possible chance of featuring on Fatal Fangs. I've got one edited. Whether I'll use it or not, I'm not sure yet, but she's done more than one decent feeding clip for me, and the ones you see on this video here, these are not the ones I'll be using in Fatal Fangs, obviously. But yeah, she's never really had an issue to snatching prey, and she does feel that response quite quickly on the web. She does dart at it pretty quickly, and when she's got the prey, she does stay out in the open for the most part. Only now and again will she go back into that burrow after first catching her prey, and I really like that about this spider. Next we go on to cost. I don't actually know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to set it on a 7 out of 10 based on slings. Slings of these are not expensive. I'm pretty sure I saw them for £7 or £8. It could even be cheaper than that. I can't remember the last time I looked up prices of these. I'm not normally a fan of Asians. Oh, that sounded really racist. Of Asian tarantulas. I'm starting to get into pokey slings. I'm enjoying raising a few pokies. And I like my chillos, but Orphnaecus, this was my first time trying it, and you know what? You hit the spot with this one for me, Gar. I bloody love it. So yeah, I think 7 out of 10 score will be a good score for cost, because of the sling price was dirt cheap pretty much, but I have no idea what the older ones go for, so it's right, a rough guesstimate on the cost this time round. Sorry folks, I don't actually know. And now behavioural characteristics. For this one we're going to go with another 8 out of 10. Okay, 8 out of 10. Really just, I love everything about it. I love the web curtain to the side that it's done here. I love the fact that it mixes both its outer web tunnels and its hide for usage here and there, rather than just sticking to one. Some teas will stay in their burrows, others will stay out like pet rocks, others will live only in web tunnels. Although this one spends most of its time in a web tunnel, it's not always a fully enclosed tunnel. Sometimes it's just on the layer curtain on the outside of the actual burrow. So it's got that 50-50 of where it is. I like that. I like where it produces its web. I like its feeding responses, and I like its overall look. I like a lot about this tarantula. I like the way it moves as well. So yeah, pretty decent score for behavioural characteristics, based mostly on web and movement, really. I guess they're the top scoring things for that section for me. So if you want any more details about the Orphnaecus, you're best contacting Gar from Arachnotube. I certainly want to get into a few more of these alongside my chillos, so yeah, I will learn as I go with this species, but he's going to be the main man you want to talk to when it comes to something like this. So you want more info, go check out Arachnotube, pop Gar a message. As long as you're not being a prat, I'm sure he'd be happy to chat to you about it. Okay, so yeah, I think we're going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you in the next one. What will we feature? Who knows? Oh, and don't forget the playlist, guys, is of this series, of this prolonged full collection tour of top invertebrate, dealing with not just tarantulas but other kinds of spiders, beetles, mantis, stick insects, the lot. Everything we keep here in the realm will be under one playlist, be in the description below on every one of these videos, so make sure to go and check it out and binge watch them when you've got nothing better to do. Cheers guys, take care, bye bye. Do you guys want to see what else dwells within the realm? If so, make sure to pop back weekly for multiple videos. My usual upload days are Wednesdays and Sundays, so I'll see you guys there. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to become a disciple of the realm and have your name shown on the screen like these lovely people, you can do so in one of two ways. You can scroll down the screen now and hit that join button next to the subscribe to be a channel member. or alternatively, you can follow my link in the description below to my Patreon page. Both methods grant you access to my private Facebook page, where we like to discuss even more things creepy crawly. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye bye.